Hello everyone and welcome to a channel update video. I know, unscripted, unplanned channel update. Well, I say unplanned, I have got some bullet points just here. And it's been so long since I've done one of these. The last one that I did was the last in my projects and pickups series, which is a regular series I used to do, well, a monthly series that I used to do, covering all the stuff that I was working on in the background and all that kind of thing. And I decided to stop doing those way back in March 2021. Just because I wanted to focus on my more kind of project-based stuff and the more kind of scripted documentary stuff and educational and you know, that side of things. You know, just to kind of really push this channel as a more kind of high quality kind of channel. Well, that was certainly the plan anyway. I hope it's come across that way. I have still been doing behind the scenes kind of things over on my second channel, Reese Rambles, and I do talk about them in my podcast every week. Which is also called Reese Rambles and also goes out on that channel as well as all the major podcast platforms. And I have Patreon and stuff as well when, you know, obviously I cover the behind the scenes stuff on there. But yeah, I thought it was about time that I addressed the 22,500 subscribers that I've accumulated on this channel and talk about the state of things and some of my plans for the future of the channel and some kind of decisions that I've made and just kind of cover the way that the state of things as they stand. So the first thing I want to talk about is my solar series. Now, I released the first of those videos way back in August last year. And yeah, the response to that was absolutely insane. So that first video where I put together that DIY solar setup, which powers my entire channel, it's powering everything that I'm using to record this as we speak. Yeah, that video went viral and I ended up on the trending page on YouTube and I was made their creator on the rise for that month. And it ultimately ended up getting over 800,000 views, which compared to the other stuff on my channel, I mean, my other kind of biggest videos are in the kind of low sort of 10,000 or so. And typical for me is a lot less than that, sort of 5 to 10,000, if that. So yeah, absolutely insane, and it more than doubled the size of the channel. I got, I think I had around 7,000 subscribers when that video went out, and yeah, it's now I'm on 22,500 less than a year later. It's been absolutely insane, and unfortunately, I have some bad news about that series, and I decided to take all of those videos down. I know. So I did a final kind of update on that where I just kind of covered the whole setup and how it works and how it powers everything on my channel and kind of talked about how it was a hobby project and not you know, not an instructional thing or a way to save money or anything like that. Because I think the way I initially went about that video, it was just me kind of documenting something that I was building and kind of learning as I went along. And a lot of people seem to have taken that as like an instructional series or like a how-to. And I've had a load of questions off the back of that. And I do try to respond to people and I do try to help people out where I can. But ultimately, solar isn't what I'm interested in. It's a project that I built that I still use to this day and it works great. And obviously I've still left that one video up kind of explaining how it all works. But it's not who I am and it's not what this channel is. So I decided the best course of action was to take those down. I mean, they were completely dominating my comments. I basically got to a point where I had to stop checking the comments on my channel because I just have hundreds and hundreds of solar comments every day, and a lot of them are quite negative as well because it seems to be a topic that really polarizes opinion. And also because of some of the mistakes that I'd made in those videos. And I didn't want people kind of copying what I'd done, looking at it as some kind of instructional thing and making mistakes themselves. So I thought, no, I need to focus on the retro computing and the retro gaming side of things and my kind of other projects and my documentaries and things. So they had to go. Now, whether they'll be back in some form, I'm not sure. Whether I'll set up some kind of third channel just focusing on those, I'm not really sure. But also, I don't know if I really have any plans to kind of do future updates on that because, like I say, it works and it serves the purpose that it was built for. I also wanted to talk a little bit about sponsorships and advertising and kind of the money that this channel brings in. And the solar video stuff is kind of connected to that because I was doing quite well out of those videos every month. I had affiliate links in the description of those, and I had mid-roll ads in those as well. And because of the sheer view count and the people clicking on those links, it was quite a nice little monthly income that was kind of helping to support the channel. And I've kind of decided to forego all of that to focus on the retro computing stuff. And I've also, as kind of a part of that, I've also stopped doing the sponsorships with JLC PCB. Now, that's nothing personal at all. I will still use them for any kind of PCB fabrication projects going forwards. They've always been great. But ultimately, I find sponsor spots in videos quite disruptive, and I really dislike the ones that kind of don't relate to the content of the video. I totally understand why some channels do them, and I have a lot of friends who are kind of full-time or kind of approaching that, who do those sponsor spots because they rely on it for their income. So I totally understand, and I do back those people on Patreon and kind of watch their ad-free releases, because ultimately that makes them a lot more money anyway. But as far as my channel's concerned, I've decided, no, I want to kind of provide the best kind of experience I can for my viewers. And that unfortunately doesn't include stopping every video partway through to tell them about some amazing sponsor. And the way I integrated those at the time when I did those was very much, I would only use them on projects that involved PCB fabrication and where they were actually part of the story. So I tried to make those as kind of undisruptive. Is that a word? Undisruptive? I tried to make those not kind of disruptive to the actual video itself. But yeah, I'm not currently working on anything that involves PCB fabrication. And even if I was, I quite like the freedom and the being fully in control of kind of the pacing of my videos and all that side of stuff. So I think doing without sponsors is definitely something that's a decision I'm going to stick with, kind of short to medium term, maybe even longer term as well. I suppose it depends how everything else goes. So let's talk about ads. And unfortunately, they're a bit of a necessary evil on YouTube, and it's not to do with the money like you think it might be. So allow me to explain. Now, I have pre-roll and post-roll ads, as they're called, enabled on my videos. So you will see an ad before the video starts playing, and then you'll see another one after the video's finished. And generally, if the video is... So the minimum to include a mid-roll ad, which is one that plays kind of partway through the video, is 8 minutes, I think, on YouTube. And I think that's too short. I think, adverts in an 8-minute video are just too much. They're just overwhelming. So generally, I have those disabled by default. And if the video that I put out is kind of 15 to 20 minutes long, I will manually place one in the middle somewhere where there's a natural breakpoint where it won't disrupt the flow of the video. Now, as I said, I don't do that for monetary reasons. The reason I do that is because ultimately, when it boils down to it, YouTube will push the videos that make it the most money. If I have monetization disabled on my channel, if I have monetization disabled on my channel, YouTube will automatically put ads on it anyway, and I won't get any money from that, and I won't have any control over where those ads actually go. So I need to have it enabled. But the reason I will put a mid-roll ad in a longer video is purely because of the algorithm and getting that video pushed more widely. YouTube will push the videos that make it the most money, like I said. So that's why I do that. If people want to use ad blockers when they watch my videos, then by all means, go ahead. That's perfectly fine. I'm just happy that people are watching. Of course, there's YouTube Premium as well. And as creators, we do earn a bit more money from that than we do from ads in videos. So that is an option. But personally, I think it's overpriced. I pay for it because I watch a lot of YouTube. And like I said, creators get paid better as a result of it. But I do understand why a lot of people wouldn't want to pay that much. And ultimately, I don't use YouTube Music, which is kind of part of the package. And YouTube, if you are listening, it would be really cool if you did, if you decoupled the two of those and made a cheaper option available just for kind of premium viewers. Now, Patreon. I'm going to talk about Patreon, I know. And this is the point where I'm kind of regretting doing this as an unscripted thing, because I might say something stupid that people might take the wrong way. So do humour me for a moment. But I don't push my Patreon in my videos at all. I give a very kind of genuine and heartfelt thanks to my supporters at the end of my videos. And some of those supporters have been with me since the very beginning. Ultimately, I originally set it up because people were asking me to set one up. And I don't push it in my videos because it's annoying. People are constantly begging you to give you money and to sign up to their Patreon. It ruins the immersion of the video and kind of ruins the flow of the video. So I don't do it for the same reason that I don't do sponsor stuff. So if you'll humour me for a moment, this is the one time when I will mention it. I do have Patreon, I have Coffee, I also have YouTube channel memberships, and the thanks button, which is kind of down here-ish, I think, if that's the right side of the screen. Maybe it's that side. And for those supporters, well, for the first 3, I do some exclusive kind of behind-the-scenes content. I do unscripted content. Sometimes there'll be something that I've kind of picked up and I think, oh, I'll show that to my supporters because they'll find that interesting. Most recently, this Lego Atari 2600, which I was going to do a video about, and there's a whole backstory behind why I didn't. And when I finished building it, I thought, oh, maybe they quite like a look at that and see how it works. So I did a quick video on that. I think there's like 5 or 6 videos on there at the moment. But yeah, so there's a 7-day free trial on Patreon if you want to go on there and watch all of those videos and see what they're all about. And then you can cancel it and you will have seen all of that stuff for free. But there you go. I just wanted to make people aware that that was a thing. And all of the money that I make on the channel, I hope it's obvious, but all of the money that I make from all of these various sources does get invested directly back into the channel. So I bought a new camera, new microphone, fancy lens and the filter and stuff, all of the lighting and stuff. That's all kind of been directly funded. And also because of the nature of my day job, I do software development contracting, which is paid on a day rate. And sometimes I work on YouTube videos in the day when I could be doing paid work, and just having that bit of kind of income coming in from the channel does kind of help me to justify the time that I spend on that, as well as the kind of the pressure from knowing that there are people who are kind of waiting on me to produce stuff, which I very much need just to get anything out the door. So that's the situation with that anyway. I'm not begging anyone to sign up, but it's the one and only time that I'm going to make you aware that it's a thing. And finally, for those of you who haven't just unsubscribed and left me a nasty comment because I dared to mention Patreon, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of my other creative outlets, because if you've enjoyed this video and made it this far, you'll probably enjoy my other kind of unscripted and unstructured ramblings. So on that note, I have a weekly podcast called Reese Rambles, and that goes out on my second channel. It's also available on all of the major podcast platforms, Spotify and Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts and whatever. There's a load it gets pushed out to that I don't even know about. And that's very different to this. I kind of cover current goings on in the retro computing and retro gaming world, as well as stuff that's going on in my life, behind the scenes stuff to do with the channel and to do with YouTube and that kind of thing. And I very occasionally have guests on and kind of do interviews and stuff as well. And that's really going from strength to strength, if I say so myself. And maybe worth checking out if you like listening to podcasts. It's an entirely audio offering. And yeah, it's a thing. And on that note, that is hosted on my second YouTube channel, which is also called Reese Rambles. And you'll also find some videos on there of short videos that I've done for other people, that I've submitted to people's live streams and things like that you might not have seen, and other kind of short videos on interesting things that I'm up to that kind of don't quite make the grade for this channel, aren't quite up to the kind of the high standard that I set myself for this channel, or that I don't think they're entirely 100% on topic. So yeah, talk about my my Indian runner ducks and my beekeeping and my cats and literally everything else. So if that's of interest, there'll be a link to that, and of course everything else I've talked about down in the description. So finally, on a more personal note, if you've made it this far, thank you ever so much. I just want to thank my supporters, of course, as always, and their names will be appearing as always. But as a viewer, which of course the vast majority of you are, who tune in to all of my videos when they go out, I just want to say a big thank you to you. And I don't really get much of an opportunity to do this normally. Views are everything on YouTube, and the fact that people will click on my videos and watch them all the way to the end, and give me a thumbs up and leave a nice comment, really does mean a lot, and it really does help the channel to grow. And it's been so kind of motivating over the past sort of 4 years that I've been doing this, that I've been wanting to put a video like this together for a long time, just to thank everyone for your support. And ultimately, all of the Patreon stuff and all of that aside, the biggest thing that you can do to support the channel is to just keep showing up and just keep watching stuff and interacting with it. And maybe if you see a video that you think is particularly great, sharing it with your friends, sharing it on on a Discord or a forum or social media or whatever. And yeah, just thank you ever so much for your support for the channel over the years, to everyone who's been with me since the very beginning. You know, to the people that have only just joined me, it does mean a lot. So yeah, I think that's all for this channel update. This isn't going to be a regular thing. I will be going back to your regularly scheduled content for the next one. But just something that I think is long overdue that I wanted to put out there. So thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.